Ready to talk reinitiation? Well, hey everybody, today that's exactly what we're going to discuss. The reinitiation process. The reinitiation process. Well, at least the reinitiation process in ACH. Stay tuned for more. Okay, reinitiation is an important concept to understand in ACH. Well, really in everything. It's very important if you're taking the AAP exam. It's really important if you want to be able to collect on a debit, especially one that's come back to you. I got a question. Let's say you're a bank or a credit union, maybe even a business. You have a bill or maybe a loan that is returned to you as insufficient funds. Do you just say, oh, they're unable to make their bill payment this month. Let's just forget about it and go about our day? No, you don't. You don't do that. If a debit is returned to you uncollected, then the reinitiation process is there to help you in an attempt to collect that debit. I really want to stress that part. This is not a guarantee of collection, but it is a very helpful method for collecting on something that has been returned to you. I also want to let everyone know that I'm talking from the perspective according to what is allowed by the NACHA operating rules. Not necessarily what is offered exactly by your financial institution, because it is a service and can be offered in different ways. If you are a business with originating debits and a business originating debits with some needs and want to use this service, talk to your local financial institution. Now, when can you use the reinitiation process? Well, an originator or an ODFI may reinitiate an entry, other than an RCK, that was previously returned if, first, the entry was returned for RO1, insufficient funds, or RO9, uncollected funds. Second, the entry was returned for stop payment and reinitiation is separately authorized by the receiver after the return entry. And it's important to note that the item to which an RCK entry relates must have been processed no more than one time through the check collection and no more than one time as an RCK entry. Also, according to the rules, the entry must be reinitiated within 180 days after settlement date of the original entry, and the total of attempts to collect on the debit may never exceed 3 total attempts. There's also a formatting requirement that states retry PYMT must be in the company entry description field. This is something that your software will normally do for you, usually, but you are the ones that are responsible for making sure it's there. By having this, it allows the receiving side to be able to further identify the purpose of the entry, and it can help aid them in working in customer service with their account holders when they are able to identify that, hey, this retry PYMT, it means that it's somebody doing a reinitiation of a debit that was originally returned. Now, let me give you a scenario in which we would use the reinitiation process. Let's say an RDFI receives a debit for an account with a stop pay flag. The receiver previously asked the RDFI to stop all debits from the originator and return them RO8, payment stopped. The receiver contacts the RDFI and requests, remove the stop pay. The receiver contacts the originator and provides an authorization for debit. Now, a not reinitiated entry. The debit entry is one of a series of pre-authorized entries, reoccurring debit entries, and is not contingent upon whether an earlier debit in the recurring series has been returned. The originator obtains a brand new authorization for the debit entry after it receives the original return entry. Well, a new authorization equals a new entry. Or if we have the debit entry is initiated the receiver's account following the return of a previous entry like an RO3 or an RO4. That's going to be a new entry too, because you're just saying, hey, the name's changed or the account number changed, something's different about it. Or if you have a credit, because we don't reinitiate credits. This is only for debits that we actually work this process. Now that gives you the basics of reinitiation process. Appreciate y'all watching. If there is something you'd like to see featured in a future video, you can always message me here on LinkedIn or email me, kevin@paymentsprofessor.com. Other than that, have a marvelous Monday.